Welcome back, everyone, to episode 232 of the Craftverse series. And as you can see, I got all of the carpets installed between episodes. There's meant to be a section of end stone visible at the bottom. It's just meant to show you where the path goes. So, we're going to get working on the roofing today and covering over that beacon. So it isn't visible, it's completely covered up. And then we're going to start working on the lower levels of the roof because it's a lot easier to do it that way, surprisingly, than it is to go from bottom up. Let's get started. So we're going to do it this way because it is actually easier to get the roofing started and then get the end stone brick pieces underneath it. Not end stone brick, the nether brick stairs after we have the thing it goes underneath, so we can just place it vertically and not have to hug the wall. So we do this part first. Fly up, get on top of the roof. And then, as with all of them, we corner piece 3 of these sea lanterns on all 4 corners. So we're going to be wrapping a layer of this red and nether brick all the way around those sea lantern corners. Oopsie, I did an oopsie. Yeah, I was able to pick it up. Nice. Sometimes it doesn't let me do it. Like you saw last episode when I had to break open some other things. See, that's why you be careful. We could do this from down here at least. It's just a little bit awkward going up and over all of the things. It's not quite as smooth. And that was the end of that anyway. Let's get back up on top. Okay. So now that we're up here, we go around these one full time. I don't know why it's suddenly not accepting the inputs as fluidly, because it was accepting them pretty fluidly last time. Oh sure, now that I'm paying attention to you and making sure that I don't fall through, you're not going to drop me through. I see. Yeah, almost got me. Keeping me on my toes. Which is precisely where I would like to be, on my toes. Now it might seem like a waste, but this is how all layers are. Except for the top, which is the only one that has these additional lights, just to make sure there's no spawning shenanigans. But all other levels of the roof are going to be this exact way. So you have the 3 thick of the block, and then on top of that, at the very first one that hugs the wall, you put a sea lantern and you cap it off with a slab. And in front of that sea lantern, you block it off, so not only can you not see this level, you also can't see the one that you just did in the corners. It's meant to be lit up, it's not meant to be seen. So you shouldn't see the sea lanterns. So there's that one. And then we come down here. Turn and repeat. So you can only see the red nether brick, but it's going to stay lit up because these are not full blocks. Now, most of you know that, but some people might be new and watching me, and I'm not sure why they're watching episode 232 and didn't know this. But everyone starts at different points. Everyone decides, hey, I'm going to watch Minecraft, and if this is one of the most relevant videos at the time, then this is the one they're going to see first. So, yay for algorithms. So we do this. It goes up by 2 levels of stairs. Just for the top. The roof itself, the actual roof, is a little bit different than every other section that wraps around the walls. So you want to go the normal way up to here, and then you add in the stairs, stairs, slabs, stairs. On top of this sea lantern, you also go slab. And then the fun part is just putting 3 tiers of stairs all the way up. And then you cap it off with an additional slab on top of your beacon. Because it's not a full block, it's not going to break the beacon streak. Oh, biscuits. See, capped off. And now as far as that's concerned, the roof is good. But I do have to get some more stairs made. And then we have to finish the actual edges of the roof, because this is by no means finished. But it's already looking really nice, just incomplete. I will also need to be grabbing these. But first things first, let's finish doing this part. I want to do all of those at once, so we're just going to hold off for now. Try to keep this a smooth process as much as possible. It should work. Perfect. That works. I do need to keep 7 or so. Yeah, this should work. This should be fine. Let's go ahead and take a nap, because while I'm up there, I don't want anything flying around knocking me off. But the benefit of already having this capped off is I can just fly up to the roof and land in any fashion, and I'll be fine. Nothing can spawn on a slab or a stair, in case you did not know that already. And now, the top part of this build is done. So now we come down here, and the cool thing is this is all solid blocks, so you don't have to worry about falling off. But what we're going to do is put a ring of non-solid, the slabs, all the way around. And you can either do it that way and run the risk of not seeing if it's going to come out right, or just do this and back up. As long as you're crouched, you won't fall off. Provided the game processes normally. If there's any type of lag or overexertion on the server you happen to be using, that may not always be true. That's why you should also always have a totem of undying or slow falling. And that would be a potion, not a totem. So if you can't afford to make a raid farm, which not everybody knows how to do, then I would highly recommend trying to get some slow falling potions before you get up here onto this level of the build. Okay, so now that we've got this, and we do want to leave these little extra pieces open, we're going to be capping this off with more stairs. And don't worry about this, because you're going to put one here and it's going to fix itself. Let me do that. We're going to do this, come around the corner, put another solid, and cap it. And that is how all 4 of the corner bits are going to look. But in between those, we run 1 string of slabs to right here. And then we repeat the process. Make sure you're crouched as much as possible so you don't do a die. Third corner. Well, that one didn't want to place, so we're going to put it right here instead. As long as it goes where it's meant to go, it doesn't matter exactly how you get it about doing that. I have another thing of slabs, so we're good. Okay, that is all 4 of the corners. I just have to bring this all the way over. And now the slab portion is done for the top of the roof. The only thing I need to do up here now is put a thing of leaves all the way around. But I might actually deviate from the leaves and do the same thing I did on the Guardian Tower, because this is a dark enough thing that the pink will offset it, and it'll look good. So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. But before we're done with that entire thing, we want to make sure we can't see any more of these sea lanterns, so cover them over with some slabs underneath for extra depth of field, making it feel like it dips down before it tips up. Okay, so we have all of those in place, and the reason there is a space there is because that's where the nether brick stairs go. I'll be showcasing how that goes here in a bit. But I do need to go get more parts. I'm pretty good on stairs, but I'm running low on slab, so... Ow. And that's why I have the enchanted golden apples, which most people don't have at a disposable pace. But I'm a bit more well off than most. That's not where you should have gone. I was trying to access the thing. That. Should probably put one of these back, actually. Slab. Slab. And one more stair can't hurt. That should be good. We're ready to come back up to the 3rd floor. And I'm just going to walk there. Okay, fourth floor already has its roof extension. I'm going to go ahead and repeat this process and come back once all of this is done. So I will see you momentarily. All right, everyone. Got all of the roofing in, and now it's time to get the final touches. We have 4 items remaining. Chief among them being the nether brick stairs, and in between we have soul lanterns, chains, and end rods for the corners. I will happily display what those are for. First, we're going to go ahead and get all of these in on one layer. You'll see there is a difference in the texture, that is to show shading. So we are going to wrap these around over each of our trapdoors. And I would advise, if you're not going to put the roofing in first, and you would like to put the roofing on top of these, to do the trapdoors last. The way I did it, with the trapdoors first, it makes it easy to put the roofing in before you put these, of whichever type you use. Oh, that is not where you should go. Okay, that's good. I could fix that. And then we just bring this all the way around till we get back to where we started, which is here. Then we turn around, point back up, and make sure that we leave this one gap right here. That's going to get our lantern. So we don't have to keep coming back around the circle. Well, the square. It's not a circle because Minecraft doesn't have circles. Unless they're shadows of things floating over squares, which doesn't make much sense, but you know what? We're going to roll with it. Which is what a circle would do. So it takes just a bit over one stack to get all the way around. So now we should have this seemingly single slab width in between each of these, meaning everything went in properly. Should have the center being a lantern or other light block of choice. And it looks like we haven't messed anything up. So we're good. And now, go out to the layer underneath and we repeat. This one is not going to have the guide rails, so you have to be a little careful. Go 2. Oh, that's not good. Okay, well, let me fix that. Go. Good deal. Fix it. Sometimes that's going to show up. Not a whole lot I could do about that. I could have been more careful, you could argue, but you know what? It's already like 2 in the morning. Didn't feel like being here until 3, so I did a little bit of skipping around. As long as everything goes where it's supposed to in the end, you can fix a couple of snafus along the way. You'll be going over all of this at least twice to make sure all pieces are put in if you do it the way I've been doing it anyway. So you'll have plenty of chances to see anything that might have been messed up. Okay, now we can turn around and repeat the process. At this angle, we will be fine. Stick that there. Sometimes I'll go through with all of the stairs and then worry about getting those in. That way I don't have to keep messing up my rhythm, but I don't feel like having to go back around, and I'm keeping it relatively on point, so we should be fine. So if we come back out, you'll get a good look at how this is supposed to show up. Now that is just these portions here. I'm going to cheese this just a little bit. And we come up here and do 1, 2, 3, end rod. Break all of these out. And then repeat the process on all 4 corners. It is easier to do this with stairs. I usually do it with full blocks, so it has more room for error. And that is why we have these raised sections. So it looks better when we have the chains hanging from it, and we can have our light block of choice. Sometimes I'll use lanterns. In this particular case, it only makes sense to use end rods. And then I have to run back to the house and grab the caps for this so it's spawn-proofed as well, since I don't really feel like using the leaves. Okay. So we come back out here, and then you get a full scope of how each tier is going to look. See that? That's going to be all 4 roofing sections. And it takes a little bit of time, so if you have time to spare, it's good to be thorough. Otherwise, you might come back and be like, oh, well, I missed a block, or this block is tilted the wrong way. So make sure that you are as accurate as possible, and you won't have to fight with it. Now I am going to go back to the house and bring back the piece that I actually do need. So I'll be right back. Cut 2. All right, we're back. And it's a good thing I paused because I got disconnected. Apparently I still have too much to load in at one time, especially at night. But yeah, got my cactus flowers, so we're good to go. Let's pinkify this thing. Oh, that already makes a difference. It's a heck of a lot faster than having to go 4 leaves as well, which I definitely appreciate. Just gonna go ahead and install these on all 4 for additional spawn proofing purposes mainly. It's not going to get in the way of finishing this build. But it does make it look a little bit brighter. Namely in color. Wait. Place when I place you. See, it wasn't that hard, was it? I feel like there's a joke to that sentence somewhere. Okay. Now for the final layer of cactus flowers. This thing should be a little bit too much for a spider to climb up. Should just fall off at some point. That will be enough, I think. With this, it is pinkified. Let's see how it looks. Oh, that's better. Let's get a higher vantage point. Yeah, that's better. It's not even done, and I already know that's better. Alright. So, I know you guys are looking forward to another cut, right? Don't worry. I'm going to finish off getting these little bits done, and then I'll come back to reveal the finished product before the end of the episode. See you in just a minute. Alright, everybody. It's done. Are you ready for the full tour? Let's start from the bottom. We have these little kind of segregated outings off the sides on each of the sides of the bottom. Everything is lit up. All paths are carpeted. And we can come all the way up here on any of these given sides, make it to any given level. All pieces are installed, including the lighting that is hanging. Every other slab is carpeted, because you can't really attach carpet to a bottom slab, it just floats above it. And they're spawn proofed anyway. So we come all the way up here to the very top. Everything is carpeted all the way around. Let's give you a view of the whole thing in its completed state. Feel free to pause and take a gander at it. I actually much prefer it with the cactus flowers versus the leaves as I was going to use. And then up top we have our fully spawn-proofed area with the beacon, which is covered up, so the only thing you see is the beam. And you get the effect of jump boost all the way down at the bottom. Each of these little middle areas also has their individual wraparounds for shading and support. And each of these has their light sources. I think it looks awesome. But while we're here, let's say we go in the quick way to go home. No damage. And then we can come through here, since I've already broken my bed and you can see it's in my hotbar. I will end up back at spawn. And as we saw last week, there's a build at spawn. Where exactly do we end up? All the way out here this time, okay? It's fine. I am not a mob, I can jump over here. And for those who didn't see last week's episodes, which, why are you watching this week's if you're not, haven't seen these? This is the Guardian-inspired tower. Very similar, it uses the same trapdoors, the same hanging and wraparound end rods. But other than that, it's entirely different build. Even though it's still using the end stone, it doesn't look the same. The blue is very, very different than the red. More than just the obvious. It has a different tone altogether. And I very much enjoy it. Especially the fact that in the right lighting, Prismarine changes its hue. So let's go over a little bit of what we've done so far this week. Provided it doesn't kick me again. Which it might, because I'm literally right here, and there's all these things trying to load in at the same time, especially with the build that is now invested in there. Have I shown you that? Huh. Well, let's quickly give you a refresher. Up here, perfect. Let me open my menu. I have the tower of 9 sections of flower farm. And it does work, but no, I am not testing it on camera. The last time I tried testing it on my Switch, it literally froze me. I flicked the lever, I had my alt on, my alt was still seeing this account stand right here, staring at the lever, and the alt didn't see it move. Where I was on my PC, and I had already gone downstairs to the collection area to see how much was being collected and how quickly. Just to give you a brief rundown of how much it does collect. This is from 3 tests. Mostly they jam up at the end and collect into the back one, but I do have 2.5 to almost 3 full stacks of bone meal because I have a couple of bone meal converters at the ends. Everything collects as best it can as it goes through, and I lost quite a bit of flour, but there's still a ton of them. So, thank you, Silent Whisperer, for making your flower farm that is too fast and too flowery. It kills the Nintendo Switch. It can be tested and run moderately well on a non-gaming PC like I have. I would highly recommend you upgrade your stuff before you try building as intensive of a redstone build as this is. It's very effective, it will work, but don't try to run it on a console. Not unless you want to be lagged out tremendously. If you're doing just one flower farm, you're fine, but I'm running 9 at once. Yeah, that was a lot. So yeah, thank you all for watching this week, and I will link this flower farm tutorial in the description so you can test it for yourself to see if your device is better suited than mine. Also, let me know in the comments if there are any changes that you would have made to the design of the end tower. Or even to the Guardian Tower, as we did see that as well. For now, have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.